students. I am your IYS English teacher for class 8 and I welcome you all to the new academic session 2021-22. Okay, so let's begin. These are some instructions for you all dear students. As we all are welcoming you to the new academic session 2021-22, the first instruction is you have to attend all classes as per the given schedule. All students must be attentive during the class and listen to and follow all the given instructions. You have to listen to all the instructions carefully and you have to follow all the instructions. Okay, now the next instruction is to keep a notebook and a pencil with you to note down important points and take screenshots of all the slides. And you must, this is very important, you must take screenshots of all the slides for your help. You must also have your course book and workbook with you, and if you have not yet purchased it yet, kindly arrange them as early as possible. All the tasks must be done in your course book, in your workbook, and fair copy according to the given instructions. Please don't raise hand during the class. After the class, you will get time to ask questions through the chat box. Now, the most important thing is you have to divide your English fair copy into two portions. Your first portion will be your prose and poetry portion as per our practice, and your second portion will be grammar and composition portion. As you all know that we have been doing this since your early classes, so you have to do it in the same way. You have to divide your copy into equal portions and you have to mention for prose and poetry in the first portion and grammar and composition in the second portion. Okay, so let's move towards the next slide. Now dear students, here are some instructions for your copy presentation. How will you maintain your copy and how will you manage all the pages? So for every student to do it same, I have given you some instructions. So first you have to fill in the biodata box on the copy cover with black permanent marker, and you have to cover your fair copy, your course book and workbook with plastic sheet, transparent white sheet. Okay, and you have to mention your name on all these two books and your copy with black permanent marker. Your first page of your copy will be your complete biodata, which will have your name, full name, okay, father's name, your class, your section, and roll number, which you will get later on, and your subject. You have to properly mention the subject in your copy. So you will do it. So you have to do your work in each mentioned copy. Then you will put the heading of subject teacher's name and class teacher's name, which you will do when you will be informed. Okay, but you have to mention the heading now. Now turn towards the second page. Your second page will be term title page, which is May to November, and the session is 2021-22. Now the third page will be units index. Here you will note down all the units of your midterm. As we progress towards the completion of midterm, you will note down each unit which you have completed. You will note down with its date in the units index. On fourth page, your topic or unit title page. Okay, you will mention the topic and the unit title page. On the fifth page, you will write down the unit outline. In the next slide, I'm going to share it in detail. How will be your unit outline? On the sixth page, we will start the work according to the unit outline. So page number 6 will be helped by page number 5. Okay, for example, how will we start our work? We will start our work with word meanings, textual question answers of level 1 and 2. Okay, one thing to be noted, dear students, is all grammar and vocabulary work will be done respectively in grammar portion, in your workbook and course book as per the given directions by the teacher. You have to do all your work according to teacher's directions. All essays, letters, and applications will be done in this same portion with proper headings. This same portion means in your grammar portion. Okay, and vocabulary exercise and grammar will be done in your grammar and in your course book and workbook, and some topics and some items we have which you have of grammar and vocabulary which you will have to do in your copy in your grammar portion. Okay, now, this is the fifth page, that is your unit outline. How will you maintain it? So you have to take a screenshot of this page. You have to take a screenshot of this page because this is very important. According to this screenshot, you will maintain your unit outline page, unit number, unit name. First, what work we will do? Words meanings, then textual question answers of level 1 and level 2. Then you will mention vocabulary and you will mention the page number of course book. Then you will mention the page number of workbook in the same way, which you can see on the screen. In this same way, you have to complete your unit outline page. Then you will mention the heading of grammar and you will mention that this grammar work is done in grammar portion. Plus, you have to complete all your grammar work present in the course book. You have to mention the page number, and all the grammar and vocabulary work which is present in the workbook, you have to do in the workbook, and you have to mention the page number here in your outline page of the copy. Then you can see this heading additional matter. As you all are very well aware that we have this additional matter in your syllabus book. From very beginning classes you are seeing this additional matter. So this additional matter will be mentioned on each outline page according to the syllabus book. With each term you will with each unit you will complete one topic of additional matter, and according to that you will mention it in your outline. Okay, so dear students, let's bismillah rahman rahim, let's move towards our first topic, unit number 1, yogurt and cinnamon dessert with rose, geraniums, and peach, which is present in your Active English Book 8, page number 9 to 23. So, dear students, this is okay. I will repeat the screenshots, the screens later on. Okay, okay. So, these are the objectives of each unit. Before beginning the explanation of the topic, I will first read out the objectives of each topic. Uh, Objectives of each session will be read out to you and shared with you daily. By the end of the session, students will be able to read the poem with correct pronunciation and understand the poem, understand the central idea of the poem, identify rhyme, repetition, and alliteration in the poem. So and identify country or language of origin of loan words. So this objective is related to your vocabulary activity, and this first objective is related to your poem and your level 1 and level 2 question answers. If you understand the poem correctly, you will be able to answer the questions very easily. So dear students, you have to be very attentive. You have to keep a notebook and a pencil with you to note down the important points, and you will also underline the difficult words to understand their meaning clearly. Okay, so dear students, let's move towards our topic, yogurt and cinnamon dessert with rose, geraniums, and peach. See, you can see here yogurt, which is in your daily use, curd, we can say, or dahi, from which we make raita, we make salads, and all. We make lassi with it. So, yogurt is a very useful thing. And cinnamon. Cinnamon is a whole spice, it is used in sweet dishes also, in cooking also, as well as in sweet dishes also. Now this desert means that it is very much different from the desert Registan. This is not Registan. This desert means a sweet dish which we consume after our main food. Okay, with rose, geraniums, and peach. Okay, was her name Martha or Marsha, the one with the enchantress hands? A little eager, a little shy, I walked into her kitchen that first morning towards the smell of coffee and muffins. Blueberry, she said conspiratorially. Heaven, I said, one large bite, and two quick sips later, heaven on earth. So, dear students, this is the first stanza of your poem, first verse of your poem. The poet is the speaker, we can say, the speaker of the poem is talking about a lady whose name is Martha, or we can also call Marsha, the one with the enchantress hands. The poet is talking about a lady who has enchantress hands, who has a magic in her hands, and she's talking about her newly hired cook who was working in the kitchen, and whatever she was cooking, whatever she was preparing for the breakfast, it was her first morning in the house. It was smelling so sweet, it was so delicious that the poet, a little eager, a little shy, that means she was hesitating going towards the kitchen, that what's going on, that new cook is cooking so well. So a little eager means wanting to know what is going on there, and a little shy, that means she was a little hesitant in going towards the kitchen. But when the poetess walked into her kitchen that first morning, towards the smell of coffee and muffins. It was the smell of coffee and it was the sweet smell of muffins which the cook was making. When the poet entered the kitchen, the cook said, Martha said, blueberry, she said conspiratorially. Conspiratorially means in a very secret way, in a very secret manner, so that no one could hear it. So the conspiratorially means to speak in a very low voice. Heaven, I said, one large bite and two quick sips later. Heaven on earth. So, when the sweet smell of the cooking fascinated the poet, the speaker, so much that she automatically walked towards the kitchen, and when she tasted the taste of the muffin and the coffee, it was like a heaven on earth. What is the meaning of heaven on earth? That means it was so fantastic, it was so fabulous, that means it was so tasty that it reminds the poet of heaven on earth. That means it was so tasty, it was so delicious, it was so aromatic that the poetess, that those things, they reminded of heaven on earth. Now the next two paragraphs, paragraph number 2, verse number 2 and verse number 3. I counted them greedily. Counted them greedily means looked at the muffins and the coffee. The poet looked at them greedily. These three breakfasts, two dinners, each outdoing the other. So when the new cook mentioned the breakfast, what she was going to make for the breakfast, three types of breakfast and two types of dishes in the dinners. The poet was so mouth watering, she had so mouth watering feeling. Each outdoing the other means each dish was outdoing, means each dish was excellent than the other dish. Thin slices of fish wrapped around soft seedless dates, dips with cheese and herbs. What did the cook prepare for the dinner? She prepared thin slices of fish which were wrapped around soft seedless dates. So this is a type of dish. This is a type of presentation the new cook was giving to her masters. Martha was a great cook and she was appointed newly by the poet, and she was making so nice dishes that the speaker was getting attracted towards her cooking. Dips with cheese and herbs, served course by course, light pastas. So, what was the menu? It was thin slices of fish wrapped around soft seedless dates. Then the cook had made dips. Dips means we make raita, we make chutneys with our main course. So she made dip with cheese and herbs. So you can imagine how much tasty, how much delicious it would be. She was serving it course by course. Course by course means one by one. Light pastas, the right drink. She was serving the dish with proper combination. Okay, so that the Martha, the new cook, was so highly skilled that she knew about the taste of for whom she was cooking. So she presented the menu in the same way, and the poet was very much attracted, very much impressed by her cooking and her way of serving. Voices reverential as we ate. Reverential voices means she spoke with so great respect. She showed high respect and love and affection towards the people of the family. You will like this, she said the last evening, knowing by then where I came from. Means she knew that what from where does the poet belong. So the cook prepared a dish according to her interest, according to their region. What dish was famous in their region? So according to that, according to their likes, उनकी पसंद के मुताबिक उसने वो डिश बनाई. What was that dish? It's yogurt and cinnamon dessert with rose, geraniums and peach. Now I'm reading the third paragraph and then I will explain it. I picked up a plate, and the first spoonful conjured up a taste I thought I had forgotten. Curd steamed with sugar, and cinnamon, a treat my mother made. The rose geraniums are an Irish thing, she said. I picked that up in Ireland. Her cheeks were flushed. Was it my delight, or was it the heat from her oven? Asia, America, Ireland. Cinnamon, yogurt, and peach. You are astonishing, Martha, I said. For Martha it was. And I was happy and close, so close to tears. So, in the second paragraph, the poet is describing about the different types of dishes the cook was making with proper serving, with proper combination of drinks, and by knowing that the poet belongs to which region, what उनकी क्या पसंद होगी, जिस इलाके से पोएट है, जिस इलाके से स्पीकर बिलोंग करती है, उनकी पसंद के मुताबिक उन्होंने जिस डिश का नाम बताया वो था yogurt and cinnamon dessert with rose geraniums and peach. So in the third paragraph, the speaker is saying that when I took just a first spoonful, मैंने जब उन्होंने first spoon ही लिया, first bite ही लिया उस dish का, it conjured up a taste. I thought conjured up means एक फौरन से उन्हें एक चीज की याद दिला दी जो बहुत पुरानी थी, जो वो भूल चुकी थी. फौरन उन्हें वो टेस्ट याद आ गया. कर्ड स्टीम्ड विद शुगर जब उन्होंने खाई, एंड सिनेमन, और उन्हें क्या याद आया? अ ट्रीट माई मदर मेड. जब पोएट ने वो फर्स्ट बाइट खाया उस स्वीट डिश का, उस डेजर्ट का, तो सबसे पहले जो चीज़ याद आई उन्हें, अपनी माँ के हाथ का टेस्ट उस डिश में याद आया कि मेरी मदर भी सेम इसी तरह ये डिश पकाती थी. शी सेड, द कुक सेड, द रोज जेरेनियम्स आर एन आयरिश थिंग. आई पिक्ड दैट अप इन आयरलैंड. उन्होंने बताया कि इसमें जो रोज जिरेनियम्स डले हुए हैं, जिरेनियम्स मीन्स रोज पेटल्स जो ड्राई हो जाते हैं और जिनको क्रश किया जाता है. जब हम रोज़ फ्लावर को ड्राई करते हैं तो उसके पेटल्स जो है वो थोड़े से क्रम्प हो जाते हैं, क्या कहते हैं, क्रंची हो जाते हैं, एंड व्हेन वी क्रश इट, इट इज़ कॉल्ड रोज़ जिरेनियम्स. तो ये जो कुक थी वो आयरलैंड से ये चीज़ लेकर आई थी, रोज़ जिरेनियम्स. एंड शी सेड आई पिक दैट अप इन आयरलैंड, और वो उन्हें बहुत प्योरली आयरलैंड से लेकर आई थी. ठीक है, आयरलैंड इज़ अ प्लेस, एंड वॉट एवर थिंग्स बिलोंग टू आयरलैंड आर कॉल्ड Irish. Like we are from Pakistan, so we are called Pakistani. Anyone who belongs to France will be called French. In the same way, Ireland की चीज़ें जो है वो Irish कहलाती हैं. Her cheeks were flushed. Was it my delight? जब उसने देखा, कुक ने देखा कि मैंने जिनके लिए खाना बनाया, जो मेरी मास्टर हैं, उन्हें ये डिश बहुत पसंद आई, तो वो खुशी से उनके जो चीक्स जो है वो पिंक होने लगे. टू फ्लश, चीक्स टू फ्लश मीन्स उनके चेहरे का रंग रेड होने लगा, पिंकिश होने लगा. तो पोएट ये सोचने पर मजबूर हो गई हैं, वॉज इट माई डिलाइट, कि क्या मैं सिर्फ मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है, और वॉज इट द हीट फ्रॉम हर ओवन. So whatever her cheeks were flushing, they were turning red and pink. Was it because of the heat of the oven? Asia, America, Ireland, cinnamon, yogurt, and peach. So, all these are things which she made, she combined together, and she made an astonishing dish which her poet's mother used to prepare, and that taste reminded of her mother's hands. You are astonishing, Martha, I said. For Martha it was. So, the poet has confirmed that it was not Marsha, the name of the cook was Martha. So the started praising the cook. You are astonishing. And when the poet said, she was so happy that she was close to tears. Close to tears means जब हम कहते हैं ना खुशी से आंखों में पानी आ जाना. So this is that feeling. Close to tears, happy and close to tears means extremely happy. So dear students, this was the reading and explanation of the poem Yogurt and Cinnamon Dessert with Rose, Geraniums and Peach. So we will move forward with the word meaning. So dear students, please take screenshot of word meanings. Enchantress means a beautiful lady having magical charm. Conspiratorially To speak in a very secret manner. Course by course means one after another. Reverential means in a very respectful manner. Geraniums, dried and crushed rose petals. Yogurt means a thick form of milk prepared by adding bacteria to milk. Cinnamon is a stick type herb used as a spice to add aroma and sweetness in desserts. Conjured means to remind, and flushed means the process of cheeks getting red with shyness. Okay, let's move forward. So, dear students, you also have to take a screenshot of this slide. This is the central idea of the poem. Central idea means the main thing around which the idea of the poet revolves and which makes the poet write the poem. एक ऐसा मरकजी ख्याल जिसको कहते हैं कि पोएट के जहन में कोई एक बात आती है और उसी को मरकजी ख्याल बनाते हुए पोएट जो अपने वर्ड्स को कंपाइल करता है, दैट बिकम्स अ पोम. So every poem has a central idea, and this is the central idea of the poem Yogurt and Cinnamon Dessert with Rose Geraniums and Peach, in which the speaker has mentioned the skillful cooking and the thoughtfulness of the newly hired cook. Why the poet is mentioning thoughtfulness? That because पोएट ने सबकी पसंद का ख्याल रखते हुए, उनके इलाके का, उनकी रीजन का ख्याल रखते हुए हर डिश को प्रिपेयर किया, उनका मेन्यू जो है वो प्रिपेयर किया और तमाम चीज़ें बहुत ब्यूटीफुल कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ वो प्रेजेंट कर रही हैं, बहुत रिस्पेक्टफुल और बहुत पोलाइट वे में और बहुत लविंगली वो अपने मास्टर्स को सर्व कर रही हैं. The speaker says that the newly hired cook is so skilled and thoughtful that her cooked food reminds the speaker strongly of the dishes prepared by her mother. That means the main dish, the yogurt and cinnamon dessert around which the poem is revolving. So that thing prepared by Martha strongly reminded the poet of her mother. The cook is also very kind and sensitive by nature. This we can learn from the words of the poem that she is presenting all the things in such a loving and caring way. The speaker says that she is extremely happy to hire Martha as her new cook. So, this is the central idea of the poem, and you have to take a screenshot of this slide, dear students. And I will move forward towards the next slide. These are the questions of level 1 on page number 11 of your course book. So, dear students, take a screenshot if you don't have a textbook yet, your course book yet. So, what do you remember from the poem? You have to answer these questions by reading the poem carefully. What are the two names of the cook described in the poem? What type of muffins does the cook make? What daily meals are mentioned in the verse 2? And what savory dishes are prepared? Savory means side dishes, salted dishes, what the cook is preparing. So these are the answers of level 1. These are the answers. So please take a screenshot, dear students. See, there is only one question, it has sub parts. So I have mentioned answer number 1 here, and the sub parts are answered here. Only the list I have not mentioned here. Okay, so we are going to do the first 4 questions. I hope you all have taken the screenshot. Okay, this is level 2 of page number 11, which has 2, 3, 4, and the question number 5th is on page number 12. Okay, so dear students, these are the questions of level 2 and these are the answers. What does knowing by then where I came from refer to? So this is a verse of a poem. You have to explain it in your words. So what does that verse means? The words tell that by then Martha had already known that the poet comes from Asia. After working for a few days, the cook had come to know that the poetess belongs to Asia. So she started cooking the dishes according to their likes, according to their areas. Now the next question is what kind of person Martha is? Give instances from the poem to support your answer. Give instances means give examples. Okay, dear students, your chat will be answered after the complete explanation. So please wait for your answers, and I will repeat the slides. I will surely repeat the slides for you all to take the screenshots. Okay, so what is the answer of question number 3? Martha is a good cook, kind, sensitive, and feels happy in pleasing others. That means she is so please, she is so kind and so sensitive that she does not feel tired. She does her work in a very pleasant mood to please all the other people. Now the next question is, what imagery conjures up the sense of taste in verse 3? Imagery means imagining the things which are in front of you. So what did the poet started to imagine? She started imagining the taste which she was eating with her mother, what she used to make: curd steamed with sugar. A first spoonful reminds the poet of the treat her mother used to make. Now the next question is, why was the speaker why was the speaker happy and so close to tears? So, as I explained to you, so happy and close to tears means extremely happy. So, the answer is, the poet was so happy that she wanted to cry because she was reminded of her mother and her childhood, and she was touched by Martha's thoughtfulness. Now, dear students, we are moving towards our next topic of the lesson, that means loan words. This is your loan words. Loan means, you all of you know that loan means to borrow, to take something from someone, and that is also the meaning of loan words. That means to borrow from somewhere. So what are loan words? Words are created by borrowing from another language and incorporating into English. So dear students, in English literature, in English grammar, there are some words which are not actually English words. They are words which belong to other languages, but they are borrowed from those languages, and they are incorporated, means they are mixed with English to make words for those things. Sometimes the original meaning is altered. Altered means sometimes times the original meaning is changed. It is somewhere altered, and the pronunciation may also change. So if we take some word from another countries and we compile it into English, we merge it into English, sometimes the pronunciation change but the spellings remain same. Since some words were borrowed long ago, it may be hard to recognize that they were ever not part of English, because some words were borrowed, they were taken as a loan from different languages so long ago that it may be hard to recognize whether they are English words or whether they are words from some another language or some another country. And these are the examples: tortilla, coupe de grace, kowtow, alchemy, espresso, nuance, and chaos. So these are so old words taken from another languages, and they are used in English language that no one remembers their originality, whether these words are English or whether these words are from some other language. Okay, so let's move forward. In your course book, you can see on page number 13, there is a table given. Loan, there are two columns: loan word and the country or language of origin. So the first word is poodle, that belongs to Germany, but it is used in English language. Smuggle, you know, smuggling, it is a very common word used in English language, but actually it belongs to Germany and Holland. Tea, tea which we daily use it in our word, that tea break, and high tea, and black tea, okay, lemon tea, green tea. But this word is actually a Malay word. Malay is a different language other than English. Bonsai, bonsai we use it in daily स्पीकिंग, हम अपनी लैंग्वेज में बॉन्जाई प्लांट्स होते हैं ये, ठीक है, बॉन्जाई प्लांट्स आर मिनिएचर प्लांट्स, बट this actual word is taken from Japan. It is a Japanese word, but it is used in English. So this is a loan word. Okay, geranium. Geranium is used in. See, this is your English book, and this word is used in your English book. There is a topic by this word in your English book. So this is a loan word taken from Greece. Okay, so dear students, kiosk is a Persian word, graffiti is Italian word, and bazaar is actually a Persian word. In the same way, on your course book, exercise A is given on page number 14. And for example, I have completed 4 countries, which are actually the country, and the dishes are also taken from which country. Because in this unit, we are seeing that there is the mention of country and their related dishes. So pizza, it is related to Italy. Yorkshire pudding is related to England. Baklava is a Turkish dish, and sushi is a Japanese dish. Okay, so dear students, let's move forward. Now this is page number 15 of your course book. This is exercise B, and you have to choose the correct food word from the box to complete similes and idioms in the following sentences. So, what are similes? Similes means where we make something similar to other thing. So, this is a figure of speech in English. This is a figure of speech which you will learn in the advanced classes of your English grammar. So in this, and idioms are group of words which actually do not have word to word meaning, they have some hidden meaning in it. Okay, so in this box there are 6 words given. You have to pick out the correct word and you have to complete it in the blanks. Okay, so first one is, we really would be in the dash if we were caught cheating in an exam. So the answer is soup. The passengers of the train were packed together like. So the first one is an idiom, the second one is a simile. Here, wherever you see words like as and like, that is a simile, because here there is a comparison of something with the other. So that is called a simile. Third one is, John and I have been friends since we were at school. We like the same food, we play the same sports, we choose similar clothes. We are like two dash in a pot. See here, we can see the word like, so this is a simile. Fourth one, when she realized what she had done, Joyce went as red as a dash. So this again is a simile because there is a word as red as. So I hope it is understood that in those sentences in which we have like, we are like, as red as, these are called similes. Fifth one is, everyone else was starting to panic, but Tim was as cool as a dash. See again here, this is a simile. They may be twins, but they are as different as chalk and dash. See again, this is a simile because the word as is used here. Okay, so these words as and like are used to show the similarity between two different things. So in the next slide you will notice the answers of these blanks. So please take a screenshot of this slide, dear students. First answer is soup, second is sardines, third is peas, fourth is as red as beetroot, fifth is as cool as a cucumber, sixth is chalk and cheese. See, this is the vocabulary of page number 15 of your course book. Exercise C of vocabulary on page number 15. What you have to do in this, in each of the following lists of foods, circle the one which is different in some way from the other three and say why it is different. So, dear students, in the first column, you can see lemon, lobster, fish, ketchup, apple. In the same way, there is a group of 4 words here, 4 items, eatables. Okay, from each list number 1, you have to pick out what is the different word, what belongs to same family and what is out of the family. So you have to pick out that word and you have to mention the reason why it is different. So the first one, these are the answers of exercise C of page 15. From the first list, tomato is different because the other 3 are citrus fruits, and tomato is also considered as a fruit. It is considered as a vegetable as well as a fruit, but it is not a citrus fruit. Other 3, that means lemon, orange, and grapefruit, they are citrus fruits. Second is salmon. Salmon is out of the family of the second list because it is a fish, whereas the other 3 are not. They are sea animals, but they are not fish. They do not belong to the fish family. That is why salmon is a fish, and we have selected it out of the list. We have to pick out the out of the family word which does not belong to the list. Okay. The third answer is mutton. See, fish, mutton, chicken, and lamb. So, mutton is out of the family. Why? Because it is the meat of an animal, whereas the rest are animals. Chicken, okay, is a proper name. Lamb is a proper name of an animal. Fish is a proper name of an animal or a living creature which we eat. But mutton is not a name of an animal, it is a meat of an animal. Okay. Fourth answer is ketchup. Why? Because the other three foods are milk products. What are the milk products? Cream, butter, and cheese. They are derived from milk, whereas ketchup is derived from tomatoes. So that is out of family. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is different. Why? Because it is a stalk of a plant, or it can be considered as a vegetable, and the other three are fruits. Apple, plum, and grape are fruits, and rhubarb is a vegetable. It is a kind of a stalk of a plant, so it is out of the family. Now, dear students, this is vocabulary this is vocabulary activity A of workbook, page number 9. And this has to be done in your workbook. Okay, dear students, until and unless I instruct you to do your work in your copy of grammar and vocabulary, you will not do it there. You will just complete it in your workbook, and I will again repeat your slides. And let's move. Dear students, this is the most important one. You have to take a screenshot of this slide. This is a slide of your home task. You have to complete words, meanings, and level 1 and 2 in your copy according to the given instructions in slide. Okay. Then you have to complete your vocabulary exercise A of course book on page number 14. And you have to complete your vocabulary exercise A and B of workbook given on page number 9 and 10. Okay, so dear students, okay, dear students, I am repeating the slides. And for my sound, you have to adjust your settings, beta. You have to adjust your volume settings because my mic is okay from here. Walaikum assalam, Umema. Okay, beta. Hiba, roll number and roll number you will know later on. Don't worry about that. Just leave it blank. Okay. 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 Slides I will repeat it. Okay. Okay, Hiba. What is काम की बात? मैंने क्या extra बात की है? Please. Okay, I will try to do only काम की बात. Okay, there is a big problem with your phone, so beta you have to get it sorted out. Get your phone repaired. Okay. Okay, please beta arrange book and copy. Hafiz, please arrange your book and copy as early as possible because this is your new session and your new work has started. Okay, Umema, geraniums means dried रोज पेटल्स. जब हम रोज पेटल्स को ड्राई करते हैं तो वो बिल्कुल क्रंची हो जाते हैं, बिल्कुल क्रम्पल हो जाते हैं. उसको जब हम हैंड से क्रश करते हैं वो बिल्कुल क्रश हो जाते हैं. तो दैट थिंग इज कॉल्ड जिरेनियम्स. ओके. Okay, beta, if you don't have the option of screenshot, Mariam, so what you can do, you can you can use your snipping tool if you are using a computer, and you can take screenshot, you can share with your friends, you can ask, borrow from your friends. Please ask your friends to share the screenshots with you. Okay. Okay.